Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a concept that is absolutely going to revolutionize how you think about your own cognitive potential. We're talking about unlimiting the brain, tearing down one of the most stubborn myths in human history, and figuring out what our minds are actually capable of when we get out of our own way. To kick things off, let's talk about that famous Hollywood trope. We've all seen it in movies like Limitless and Lucy, right? You can probably picture Morgan Freeman with that dramatic booming voice asking, what if there was a way of accessing 100% of our brain? What might we be capable of? It's such a seductive idea. We love the belief that we're walking around with 90% of our gray matter completely dormant, just waiting for some magic pill to unlock a utopian level of absolute genius. But here's the stark neuroscientific reality. The 10% myth is completely, totally false. We already use 100% of our brains. We just use them incredibly inefficiently. Neurologist Barry Gordon actually says the idea is so wrong it is almost laughable. And neuroscientist David Eagleman backs this right up, pointing out that if we were to magically unlock the rest of our brain, we'd literally just be doing exactly what we're doing right now. The whole thing is active. So the real problem isn't our hardware capacity at all. It's actually a major glitch in our software.
To understand where the real bottleneck is, we have to look at Daniel Kahneman's behavioral science. He breaks our brain's processing down into two systems, starting with our hyperactive impulsive System 1. Think of System 1 as your brain's fast, automatic, entirely effortless cognitive engine. It's running without you even consciously trying. It's the part of you that effortlessly reads a billboard as you're driving down the highway, or instantly registers that a friend is in a bad mood. But, and this is a massive catch, it completely ignores ambiguity. It's incredibly biased, and it is constantly jumping to conclusions based on immediate, unfiltered emotional responses.
Okay, so then we have System 2. This is who we think we are, the conscious, deliberate, analytical problem solver. You would think System 2 acts as this strict supervisor, policing the wild, impulsive thoughts of System 1. But Kahneman's research revealed something completely wild. System 2 is fundamentally lazy. Instead of critically analyzing a gut feeling, it actually operates more like an apologetic, lazy lawyer. It basically just searches its memory for reasons to justify whatever System 1 has already impulsively decided. It's a rubber stamper, not a critic. When you lay these two systems out side by side, the true bottleneck just becomes painfully obvious. System 1 is fast and emotional, System 2 is slow and analytical. But look at where they flaw. System 1 jumps to conclusions, and System 2 is just way too lazy to stop it. We aren't lacking physical brain capacity, folks. We are just trapped in this lazy, uncritical relationship between our own operating systems. And honestly, this is exactly why we so often feel stuck. So the big question is, how do we fix this glitch? Well, learning expert Jim Kwik developed what I think is the ultimate framework for this, and he is certainly no stranger to cognitive limits. After a severe childhood head injury totally derailed his concentration and memory, a teacher actually pointed right at him and labeled him the boy with a broken brain. Ouch. But his long, hard journey to heal and overcome that label turned into an absolute superpower, leading him to develop a really profound solution. He calls it the 3M model: mindset, motivation, and method. These are the practical, everyday tools you can use to train that lazy System 2 and actually unlimit your potential. It's how we stop fighting our own biology. First, you have mindset, which is what we deeply believe about ourselves and the world around us. Then, motivation, which is the underlying purpose and the physical energy driving our actions. And finally, method, the specific, step-by-step processes we use to actually get things done. Master these three, and you literally master your mind. Now, these three core components aren't just a checklist to run through. They form a deeply interconnected ecosystem. If you're missing even just one of these pieces, you fall into these sort of purgatory areas of ideation, inspiration, or implementation. You get close, but you never quite reach your full potential. So let's break down exactly how to conquer each specific area so we can drive straight into the absolute center of this model. Step 1 is fixing our mindset. Why? Because if System 2 believes we are fundamentally limited, it simply will not exert the effort needed to change. Remember how lazy System 2 is? Well, all behavior is driven by belief. If you hold on to this limiting belief that you have a broken brain or that your intelligence is just fixed and can't grow, your lazy System 2 will effortlessly find evidence to prove you right. To unlimit yourself, you have to consciously, actively reframe those assumptions. You have to shift your entire focus toward limitless possibility. Next up is motivation, and this is huge, because motivation is not a fixed trait.
You aren't just born with it or without it. It's actually a combination of purpose, energy management, and taking small, bite-sized steps. People always say things like, oh, I'm just unmotivated. But Kwik points out that actually you are highly motivated to stay in bed and watch TV. True motivation is a formula. You need a clear purpose to push past discomfort. You need to manage your physical energy, eating whole foods, managing stress, getting great sleep. And crucially, you need bite-sized steps. Flossing just one tooth, reading just one page, doing a single push-up. This keeps System 1 from panicking and shutting the whole operation down. To really master motivation and stop System 1's impulsive emotional reactions, we have to use something called second-order thinking. We have to pause and calculate the long-term consequences of what we're doing. System 1 wants immediate gratification, right? It doesn't care about tomorrow at all. So, to wake up your analytical System 2, force it to think chronologically. Ask yourself, and then what? If I skip this workout or if I eat this entire pizza, what do the consequences look like in 5 days? What about 5 months? 5 years? This kind of second-order thinking gives you the strategic depth to stay highly motivated over the long haul. The third and final piece is method. Because look, you can have the absolute best mindset and endless, boundless motivation, but if you're using obsolete 19th century learning tools, you are going to hit a brick wall. Upgrading to these 5 21st century techniques, focus, study, memory enhancement, speed reading, and advanced critical thinking gives your brain the tactical how-to to operate at peak efficiency. These are the upgraded technologies that allow your mind to process complex information smoothly and effortlessly. Now, when we bring this all together, you can see exactly where people get stuck. If you've got mindset and motivation, that's great. You're deeply inspired, but you lack the method to actually pull it off. If you have mindset and method, but you're completely exhausted and lack motivation, your brilliant goals stay trapped as pure ideation. And without the right mindset, your implementation is always capped by what you subconsciously believe you deserve. But when you combine all 3 M's, boom, you hit the limitless state. You achieve full integration. Right there in the center, you are no longer fighting against your own nature. Your beliefs empower you, your purpose fuels you, and your methods execute your goals with precision. You've essentially bypassed the impulsive traps of System 1 and actively trained System 2 to work for you. This is what it looks like when System 1 and System 2 finally team up and work in perfect harmony. So, the absolute most crucial takeaway here is that you do not have a broken brain. You've just been using the wrong framework. Just like Einstein so beautifully put it, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's going to spend its whole life thinking it's stupid. The exact same thing applies to your mind. It is so incredibly easy to feel limited, but you already have 100% of your brain available to you right now. The utopian genius you see in the movies, it's already yours, provided you adopt the right systems to actually utilize it. I want to leave you with this final thought to really ponder as you step out to harness everything your newly unleashed mind has to offer. You now know the science behind your cognitive bottlenecks, and more importantly, you have the exact blueprint to break through them. So, armed with a limitless mindset, boundless motivation, and upgraded methods, what limits are you going to break today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely can't wait to explore the next fascinating topic with you soon.